Good day, everyone. In this video, I will be discussing things that everyone must know about special education. The topics that I will be discussing are: what is special education? Second, identifying students or learners with special needs. And lastly, individual needs. Special education, also known as special needs education, aided education, or exceptional education, is the practice of educating students in a way that addresses their individual differences and special needs. A special school is a school that caters students who have special educational needs. It is designed to help individuals with special needs achieve a higher level of personal self-sufficiency and success in school and in their community. In most developed countries like the US, educators modify teaching methods and environments so that the maximum number of students is served in general education environments. The opposite of special education is general education. General education is the standard curriculum presented without special teaching methods or supports. Students receiving special education services can sometimes enroll in a general education setting to learn along with students without disabilities. Identifying students or learners with special needs. Some children or students are easily identified as candidates for special needs due to their medical history. So for example, they may have been diagnosed with a genetic condition that is associated with intellectual disability. So with that, the parents already knows what to do for their child's education. There are two primary methods that have been used in identifying students with less obvious disabilities, such as those who have learning difficulties. So, a testing is done by a separate team of professionals. The scores that the students will be getting could provide helpful information about the underlying issues that might contribute to a child's struggle. First, we have the discrepancy model. The discrepancy model is what some schools use to determine if the student is eligible for special education. So if there is a mismatch between a child's intellectual ability and his progress in school, student will receive special education services for a specific learning difficulty. Second, the response to intervention model or ITI model. This model is a process that highlights how well students respond to changes in instruction in the classroom. So RTI process begins with the child's teacher assessing the skills of everyone in the class. This assessment helps the school's RTI team pinpoint which students need instructional interventions. In the discrepancy model, a student receives special education services for a specific learning difficulty. If the student has at least normal intelligence and the student's academic achievement is below what is expected of a student with his or her IQ. While in RTI model, students receive additional assistance such as participating in a reading remediation program. The response of the children to this intervention then determines whether they are designated as having a learning disability. Those few who still have trouble may then receive designation and further assistance. In the US, Canada and UK, educational professionals use a student's individualized education program or IEP, also known as Student's Individual Learning Plan. The IEP is meant to address each child's unique learning issues and include specific educational goals. So here we have the procedure. The procedure is designed to ensure that each individual child's needs are carefully considered and addressed. First, there would be a referral or request for evaluation. A school professional may ask that a child be evaluated if he or she has a disability. Parents may also contact the child's teacher or other school professionals to ask that their child be evaluated. Next is the child being evaluated. The evaluation must assess the child in all areas related to the child's suspected disability. A group of qualified professionals and the parents look at the child's evaluation results. Together, they decide if the child is a child with disability as defined by the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act or IDEA. Then, if the child is found to be a child with disability as defined by the IDEA, he or she is eligible for special education and related services. And within 30 calendar days after the child is determined eligible, the IEP team must meet to write an IEP for the child. Once the student has been found eligible for services, the individualized education program must be written. Then, placement, resources, and goals are determined on the basis of the student's needs. Accommodation and modification to the regular program may include changes in the curriculum, supplementary aids, and the provision of specialized physical adaptations that allow students to participate in the educational environment much as possible. Students may need this help to access subject matter, physically gain access to the school, or met their emotional needs. And lastly, the child's individualized education program is reviewed by the team at least once a year or more often if the parents or school ask for a review. So that's the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening and I hope that you gained additional knowledge in my discussion.